Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today here we are starting a playlist where we will be focusing on how if you're a first year student in an MBA school, how can you prepare for your summer internship process as well as even if you're a second year student who is preparing for his or her placements. We are here with Yashraj Singh, who is one of my seniors from IIM Tiruchirappalli. He has worked upon his skills, and he not only converted DE Shaw for his summer internship process last year, currently he's also placed at RSM Consulting. So we are looking forward to his advices on how to approach the personal interview process and what are the candid things which we can maybe listen from him, take that advice and maybe take it forward and see how it works out for us. So I'll give the mic to him if he wants to introduce himself.
Thanks, Vaibhav. So I'll start with my introduction first. I'm an engineer with background in computer science. I've done 2 years of work ex with data science firm, and for my internship, the role was around finance intern and data analytics, and the current role is strategy consulting associate. So how I approached my placements, it was, I think I kept it very simple. I stick to the basics. For the first year, I guess it was very early for me when the show came. So we didn't have much of subjects to study. I focused more on the subjects like FRA and the business stats as they were more aligned with the role. And other than that, I also looked up for the valuation techniques which are in the CF of the second term, but it gave me an advantage because those were some of the terms that were required in the JD. So I thought maybe preparing according to the JD would help me. And the third thing, which was the most important, and I think everybody should focus extremely on, is defending your resume pointers. So basically, everything that's written on your resume, you have to justify it. You have to play it to your best. How you are going to make a story of it, how you can articulate your thought, what was the problem that you solved, and what was the impact you made. So based on all of these things, I guess this sums up my placement preparation for the SIPs and for the finals. So again, RSM was an early placement opportunity for me, and I was good with the subject strategy in last year, so I dig more deeper into the frameworks, the cases. I took inspiration from the case books of XLRI, IIM, ABC, these ones. So it gave me a good idea how to approach the case interviews, how to work with the guesstimates and everything. And other than that, the analytical puzzles on YouTube. So these were the things which helped me. So talking about the subjects, I think they didn't ask me much about the subjects, but I studied through the various dossiers our committees and the clubs provide, like marketing, consulate, all of these. So these were really helpful, and yeah, the economics one as well. So these were some things which were the basic part of my preparation for both my summer and final placement.
So, with the conversation, I can feel that there are three most important aspects that he told about. Number one is you should be very thorough with your resume, and I think it's very many a times it is very underrated. People feel ki okay, I'll focus on other subjects, and many a times they don't focus on their resume, and which comes out as a lack of knowledge or depth as to what you have worked upon before. So, as he said, you should be very well versed with even one word, one sentence of your resume, maybe aligned with your industry goals, what you have worked upon, and how you can take it forward to the company which you are applying for, maybe on campus, off campus. Secondly, he mentioned about the casebook preparations. So this is something you'll have to maybe reach out to your seniors in whichever college you are. Maybe get some good dossiers, good casebooks which you can maybe take a hands-on reference from IIM, ABC, maybe FMS as well, and maybe you can start preparing on the case studies there itself. And based on this, one focused question which I would like to ask you: many a times people when approach these casebook preparations, they usually just go through the cases and do not discuss as much with your friends. How do you think peer learning play a role? Did you maybe discuss it with your friends, or maybe AI, chat GPT, or you just read those cases yourself? Any advice on that part, how to approach those case preparations?
Sure. So it was like a two-step process for me. So first is going through the case frameworks, the numbers basically like demographic split, population sizes, penetration rates, all of these things. These are some things you can just do by yourself, no problem with that. But for the case preparation, what I used to do was I used to go to my friend's room and I would tell him that this is the case, and he would develop his theory and solution. I would develop my theory and solution, and then we'll think more on that. Which is better? Why is it better? What is wrong? All of these things, and after coming up with a framework of solution, we would look into the solution that is provided in the casebook, because that helped us think more in the direction and gave us added perspective, because the solution given in the casebook is just one, might be the best, might not be the best, but why not use our
Discussion
brain?
is very important before
Yeah.
reference an issue.
Yes.
Okay. And apart from this, you also mentioned you had a computer science background. Many times when engineering folks come into a B school, they find the finance subjects very overwhelming. Any advice on that? Maybe after your SIP process was done, how did you approach your time when it comes to the D-Shaw process, and how was your interview experience? Maybe some skills which you learned over time, and any advice for the juniors if they are preparing for it?
So, firstly, engineers find it very hard to get with the finance subjects. And for my DSO experience, one thing that the recruiters are seasoned individuals and they know that they cannot expect high level of finance knowledge from you. So, you just have to stick to the basics, get your basic knowledge right, know the financial statements. Okay, by my time, there was no valuation required, but since now subjects are being changed, so maybe whatever you have studied in your first term or second term, just be good with the basics, and I guess that will do enough. And for my final placement, since I was done with most of the subjects, I also took electives in finance, MACR and IIM, so I had to study those as well. And it was more around, the case for my final interview was around, I guess, cost allocation. So it was mix of finance, payback and technology integration. How do you put how much money into what segment to get the most value you can. So this was more of a mix of strategy and finance, and just doing the basics is, I guess, more than enough if you don't want to specialize in finance. If yes, then indeed a lot of hard work is required.
And when it comes to that, usually finance and consulting both are, which I have seen so far, these are very demanding subjects for that matter. And again, as we said, many times people find it overwhelming how to approach these subjects. Any advice on, apart from let's say the case materials or the pedagogy which we follow, that studying the case for the class, any other thing which you followed, maybe any YouTube material or any personal approach, maybe with your friends, which help you ease out the pressure of these subjects, may it be finance, may it be consulting?
So I guess there are two questions hidden in one. One is how you approach the academic challenges, and second is the placements. So for academics, we had for the finance subjects we had like e-learning platform, something like I forgot the name, but we had questions to practice. So a lot of practice makes you comfortable with those subjects in finance and those questions. So like if you
Connect
cannot,
platform.
yeah, connect. So if you cannot really use your brain, you can just do the hard work and make things work for you. That was one thing that worked for me. And for strategy, it's mostly around problem solving, developing frameworks. Firstly, understanding the frameworks, then understanding context, where to use, what to use. Once you fix this like demand and supply gap, it's done for you. Strategies, I guess, by far the best subject I had in first year.
So when it comes to hard work, one of the key things which we see which happens in a B school is case competitions. Any advice on how should juniors or people even in second year should approach it? Given because a lot of academic and other rigor things are going on, people tend to maybe take case comps lightly. Any approach, did it really help you in your preparation? Maybe not actively but passively, maybe back in the mind, maybe in structuring your thoughts or articulating your thoughts well. Any advice on that?
So I believe case comps are right. It's a channel of testing the knowledge you get from the classroom. So I've been part of a lot of case comps where we reach semi-finals and finals. In some cases, like Amazon and Grad, and then RSM had one case comp in our college. So starting with the Amazon, back then we didn't have much of the subjects knowledge, so it was very, I'll say, fresh perspectives, because one we had one fresher and experiences from our work experience. So how can we leverage those use cases to solve the problems that are present in the problem statement? So that was one thing. For grad, we were able to implement. It was a market entry problem. So we were able to leverage the frameworks from the MM1 and MM2 that we learned during our first two terms. So these are right things to test your ideas. How feasible are they? Maybe you can contact your seniors. So like when we were in the first year, we had a lot of seniors who were actively participating in case comps, and those guys were really pro with things. They knew what to do. So we used to take feedback from them. They were very happy to help us out. So these are some avenues where you can take help. And also I've seen other peers. I guess they also seek help from the faculties. Faculties are also more than happy to help you with these things. So these are some things you can do. And case comps, I don't think anyone should take them lightly, because given the market scenarios, they bring on added advantage of placement opportunities. As one of my friend got placed in Amazon via case comp only, so that's a good thing. So that's why you should not take these things lightly. These come with added advantages.
So guys, two things which we focused on right now is, if you are a person who is, let's say, maybe struggling with academics, at least what you can do is try case comps, try your knowledge, and maybe that will not only help you with the academics part but also passively in your SIP or placement preparation as well. And as he mentioned, he's also a person who has cleared certain case competitions. So if you really like the content which we are making right now, please mention in the comment section if you would like. I'll be happy to make another video with him on how to approach case competitions and what was his strategy with his friends. Maybe we can have another podcast discussion if you would like. For now, I'll just ask you a last question. Many a times what happens is, even if, let's say, we are talking about pan India level, there might be students who will be watching this who are maybe not from IIM institutions. They might be struggling with their SIP or placement process, might not be getting shortlist in campus or off campus as well. That is a time which where is a lot of stress. Students don't know how to handle that and maybe what they can do with that timeline, because nothing can help them, right? At that point of time, they can just only wait for shortlist. Any advice for them on how to take stress, and while they are waiting, how they can like maybe prepare or take that approach forward?
And I didn't get any shortlist, but by second or third rejection I realized that it is something that is out of my control. So maybe, controlling the controllables is the best approach to this, and it helps with dealing the stress as well. You are not getting shortlist, and basically you cannot do anything with that. You can just keep studying, be ready, because you might get a message that tomorrow morning you have to give the interview, and if you're not prepared, you might lose on the one chance that you are getting. So I'll say it's like 70-30 mix of your hard work and luck. So luck also plays a part, but if luck is not there, you better be prepared to put in 100% of your hard work. That is surely going to help.
Basically, be so ready that
Yes.
if a shortlist comes, let's say next day, you are very well prepared to convert that one shortlist.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time today. As I mentioned, if you would like, we'll be happy to make more content with him on case competitions or any other questions. If you would have, please feel free to know. Let us know in the comment section how do you like this playlist series, or whatever suggestions you would have. Until next time, I'll meet you in the next video. Bye. Thank you.